Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Poorly Educated podcast, where we take the big fancy pants headlines from around the world and explain them in plain English, or at least in something that sounds like English if you're drunk enough. Now, folks, it's September 24th, 2025, and let me tell you, the whole dang planet looks like a yard sale after a tornado. We got the UN fighting like it's a family reunion gone wrong. Trump hollering about climate change being a hoax. Wars flaring up everywhere. Robots taking our jobs. A typhoon bigger than your Aunt Bertha's Buick. And Indiana trying to lower utility bills so we can all keep our beer fridges humming. So, crack open a Mountain Dew, throw some pork rinds in the fryer, and let's ride. Segment 1. Unga turns into Jerry Springer. Trump says the world's going to hell. So, the 88th United Nations General Assembly kicks off. And instead of kumbaya and handshakes, it looks more like Jerry Springer with translators. Secretary General Antonio Guterres is up there begging everybody to play nice. But Trump stomps in, takes the mic, and basically says, the UN ain't worth a bucket of warm spit. And by the way, y'all are going to hell. Real inspirational, Donnie. He calls climate change the greatest con job ever. Buddy, I'm from the sticks. And even I know if the fishin' hole's dry and the corn's crispy in June, something's wrong with the weather. But nope. Trump says it's all made up by stupid people. Well, dang. If stupid people can trick the whole world, maybe they ought to run the stock market. And then, here's the kicker. Trump leaves the podium, waddles into a private meeting, and tells Guterres, the U.S. is 100% behind the UN. That's like me telling my wife her meatloaf tastes like roadkill, then asking for seconds. Classic Trump. Scream in public, sweet talk in private. Segment 2. Trump's Ukraine U-turn. Suddenly pro-NATO. Now this one's a doozy. Trump gets on his Truth Social knockoff, probably sitting on the golden toilet, and says, Ukraine can win back all its territory. Russia's a paper tiger. Whoa there, cowboy. This the same fella who spent years saying Ukraine ought to give up land. Now he's out here like a WWE announcer. Zelensky, you got this. Go pin Putin in the third round. It's a total flip. He went from let Russia have a chunk to Ukraine's got him on the ropes, let's help him finish the fight. Why the flip? Simple. He wants to look tough in front of NATO after telling him off about climate and migration. It's like when a redneck uncle crashes Thanksgiving drunk, insults everybody, then offers to fix your truck for free so y'all won't hate him. Segment 3. France, UK, and Canada go rogue. Recognize Palestine. While Trump's throwing haymakers, France, the UK, Canada, Australia, and even Portugal say, surprise, we recognize Palestine as a state. That's like showing up at poker night and everyone switches games without telling you. Macron's out here leading the charge, saying Hamas needs to step down and peace requires a two-state solution. Trump, meanwhile, says it's just rewarding terrorists. Now we got the Western Alliance split right down the middle like a family fight over grandma's will. Half the cousins say, sell the farm and share the money. The other half say, nah, let's keep fighting over the tractor. Segment 4. Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan. War everywhere. Folks, if you thought the UN speeches were wild, the actual battlefields are worse. Gaza City's getting bombed to pieces, hospitals out of oxygen, Red Crescent begging for help, folks trapped like deer in a barn fire. UN investigators say Israel's trying to annex everything. Israel says the UN's backwards, and meanwhile, regular people are just trying to survive. Over in Ukraine, Russia's slinging glide bombs at apartments, and testing NATO's patience by sending drones into Poland and Lithuania. Lithuania's parliament basically said, "To hell with waitin', shoot 'em down." That's how world wars start, folks. Over some unmanned drone crashing into the wrong cornfield. And then Sudan. RSF bombs a mosque, killing 75 people. Nigeria's got cops ambushed. Seems like everywhere you look there's chaos. It's like the world's playing whack-a-mole, but the mole's got machine guns. Segment 5. Economy's a weird two-step. AI boom, tariff bust on Wall Street. Everybody's drunk on AI. Alibaba drops news they're pouring more billions into robots, and suddenly their stock jumps like a possum on a hot skillet. Micron sells chips for AI, makes bank. Then the stock falls because investors got too greedy. That's like catching a big catfish, throwing it back, then complaining you're still hungry. Meanwhile, Trump's tariffs are turning into a Vegas bet. Investors are literally buying lawsuits, hoping the Supreme Court strikes tariffs down so they can cash in. Y'all, the economy shouldn't run like a scratch-off ticket from the gas station. And then, Trump kills the government's annual hunger report, says it's redundant. Translation: if we don't measure hunger, hunger don't exist. That's like me canceling my bathroom scale and saying, "Guess I ain't fat no more." Segment 6. Trump's autism Tylenol mess. Oh Lord, here we go. Trump tells pregnant women not to take Tylenol and blames vaccines for autism again. Scientists are screaming, doctors are throwing their clipboards, and Trump's out here handing out medical advice like he's Dr. Phil on moonshine. The FDA even approved some chemo drug for autism treatments out of nowhere. Whole thing smells fishier than a bait shop in July. If you see your president making health policy with Facebook conspiracy theories, maybe don't take medical advice from the podium. Segment 7. Civil liberties under fire. Trump designates Antifa a terrorist organization. Now, I don't like hoodlums smashing windows, but making Antifa a terrorist group is like designating Bigfoot a danger to national security. Who's in charge? Where's the headquarters? What's next? We gonna put the boogeyman on a watch list? Then he rolls out a plan to sweep homeless people off the streets into long-term treatment. Look, I know encampments ain't pretty, but this sounds a lot less like help and a lot more like shoving folks into warehouses and forgetting them. And don't forget ICE detainees dying in custody. 14 dead this year. Makes you wonder if land of the free just means free if you make it past detention alive. Segment 8. Free speech fights. Jimmy Kimmel versus Trump. Jimmy Kimmel comes back on TV after getting suspended, and he blasts Trump for trying to silence comedians. Says it's anti-American. Dang right. If we can't make fun of our leaders, what's the point? My cousin Bubba gets roasted every Sunday at church fish fry for falling asleep in the pew. And even he don't throw folks in jail. Segment 9. Security scares. ICE shooting and NYC phone plot. Dallas ICE facility gets shot up. 4 dead, 70 injured. Whole place turns into a war zone. Meanwhile, in New York, the Secret Service finds a warehouse full of servers and SIM cards that could have shut down the whole cellular network. Y'all, if Verizon goes dark, America collapses faster than my Uncle Larry after a chili cook-off. We ain't ready for that. Segment 10. Typhoon Ragasa. Mother Nature ain't playing. While politicians bicker, Typhoon Ragasa rips through Asia. Philippines loses fishermen. Taiwan floods bad. Hong Kong shuts its airport. China evacuates 2 million people. This storm's bigger than the line at Walmart on Black Friday. Proof again that climate don't care about politics. You can call it a hoax all you want, but when a typhoon's knocking your roof off, you'll wish you had a little of that green energy scam Trump keeps talking about. In conclusion, So there you have it, folks. September 24th, 2025. The UN's fallen apart. Trump's doing flip-flops like a bass in a boat. Wars everywhere. AI booming while tariffs bustin'. Storms tearing up Asia. And Indiana just trying to pay the electric bill. The world's on fire. But here on the Poorly Educated podcast, we'll keep roasting marshmallows over the flames and calling it like we see it. Tune in next time, if the cell towers ain't been hacked and the typhoons ain't washed us away.